do the event, we should talk a little bit more about what judges are looking for. So those same essential events apply that we were talking about at the beginning of the day, the rope manipulation, the power, the multiples, there's the spatial dynamic, all of that. However, in this event, the tricks are definitely going to be a little bit more simple because there are 4 people trying to do them in unison.
And it's going to be a lot more musical?
Yes, absolutely, music-oriented because the music really helps keep the jumpers on key. So this is an event you'll often see is pretty commonly written to the music. The jumpers didn't compete every event with music. This was actually the only event that the entire competition did with music during their preliminary round.
And most of that is due to just a numbers game. There were something like, 100 heats of single freestyles. So if we did those one at a time with music, it would take several days.
Exactly. All right, so we have here Carolina jump rope, Julia, Megan, Cynthia, and Cameron. This routine is a good combination of power, intricate rope manipulation, it's to the music, and creative.
Nice ending. And next up we have the Bouncing Bulldogs, Jessie, Maya, Caroline, and Ella. And again, this is the all-female division.
This is the all-female division. Again, you can look for some really great visuals in this event. I think one of the downsides of having more jumpers in an event is the more jumpers you have, the more mistakes you tend to have, just by honest probability.
Right.
You know, if you have more jumpers, you're just that much more likely to make a mistake. Similarly to the single rope pairs event, if a jumper does not complete the skill, the group does not get credit for it. So if
all 4 need to
exactly
to do the skill.
If one jumper misses on a very long combination, but the rest of the group does it, they don't get credit for it. So that's why it's important to make your routines in this event very doable. I've been impressed with the way they've been able to push the envelope on this event this year, while still keep things relatively clean. There they are, you know, playing with that spatial dynamic.
Now, I believe the origin of this event goes to FISAC, where they have an overall championship for teams, and they had, back when I was competing, there were 8 events for a team of 4 to compete, and then they would take the overall team. And so to make it fair for everyone, they had 2 single rope routines, 2 double dutch routines, 2 single rope speeds, 2 double dutch speeds. And the 2 single rope events are single rope pairs and the single rope team.
Right.
And so that's kind of where this comes from.
Right. So you're saying that in another organization, one of FISAC's like one of the founding organizations of jump rope, the events were divided into freestyle single rope and double dutch, and they wanted to get an all-around, so they added that event to make sure that they had an equal amount of events in both.
Right, they had an octathlon for the team to do.
Got it.
And to make it fair for double dutch competitors as well as single rope competitors, or speed or freestyle, so they had.
All right, so we have from the Comet Skippers out of Mason, Ohio, in the United States, Allison, Dharma, Veda, and Claire. Looks pretty so far.
Right. Little mistake there on the scoop. Oh, this mistake.
So this is where it gets tough. Those first 2 skills they don't get credit for, but they found their way back on.
Right.
This is also very well written to the music, which does make it easy. You know right how to get back on beat.
Right. I appreciate the routines that not only go to the beat of the music, but go to the phrasing of the music. For those of you who understand what I mean, it's when the chorus comes in or the bass drops or whatever, that musical phrase changes, the style of jumping changes with that.
Right.
I appreciate that.
I do too. I am totally with you. All right. So I'm going to ask you this. I know you've competed this event before, correct?
Yes, not at this tournament, but
right, but you've competed this event, right? So what do you think is the most difficult thing about four-person team freestyle?
The most difficult thing would be finding that area between hitting it clean and being too simple, and trying to find that how far can you push it with keeping
without
everybody
pushing it too far. Yeah. I think that's awesome.
And a lot of that has to do with taking your ego out of it when you're performing, because a lot of times athletes are like, oh, I can do that trick, or I'll get that trick, even though it's very possible they aren't going to. So
absolutely, you're right.
You just need to say, listen, guys, that one's going to be hard for me. Can we either put it on the other side or do it a different way, or do this skill instead? Yeah.
All right, so on the floor right now we have Abbotsford Skipping Sensations from Canada, and we have Libby, Clea, Reagan, and Casey.
And Abbotsford has been having several appearances today.
Absolutely, a very well-rounded team.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of these skills are not doing necessarily all completely together. They will, content-wise, get credit for the score. However, there will be a drop in their presentation for not doing it in unison. I like what you were saying, Lee, about this event. I mean, I think this is the case for a lot of jump rope events, but this one in particular, you have to really get rid of your ego and really get rid of what you think you want to do. I know for me, it was hard for a few years. I was like, well, I want to do all of my hardest tricks and all of my routines, and I always want to look my best. And I think, you know, it took a little maturity to start like getting that, okay, you know, I got to think about it in terms of group.
Yeah, I think you have to, it comes down to 3 people can do this skill and you can't. Are you okay with owning up to that? Or do you want to save a lot of heartache later on by saying, I can't do this, let's change it? And a lot of times the reaction is going to be, okay, yeah, let's change it. Nobody's going to be like, oh, Erica, I can't believe you can't do it left-sided TJ, or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your teammates are there to support you. Their teammates are there to hopefully want to win as well.
And the best groups really do work as one unit.
Right.
All right, here we have the Bulldogs. We have Reagan, Megan, Bailey, and Alex. This is so, like, clean. Like, I don't know, there's something about the way they all move and jump together. They jump very similarly.
Yep. And that's another part of it. It's not just doing the skills, it's doing them just like your partners.
Right. And this is definitely an event that's hard to, I would imagine it'd be hard for teams to come together and do this event. I think being a part of the same team, you know, like, we've seen, I think all the groups we've seen so far all come from the same team, and I think having a similar background and style does make this event a little bit easier.
Nice routine.
Yeah, it was a pretty routine. I know the Bulldogs set their bar very high, so I'm not sure how they'll feel about it, but it did look good.
Next up, we have Jump Company USA, Jillian, Abby, Lily, and Cece. And these ladies were a pleasant surprise in prelims.
Yes, they were.
They did a great job.
They were awesome. And Jump Company USA is coached by Tori Boggs, his mom, Rochelle Boggs, who in her own right is a great in the sport of jump rope. But they all definitely have a lot of Tori's style and her influence.
I believe that she either choreographed this or helped to choreograph it quite a bit.
Yeah, you can kind of see her all over it.
Yeah.
If you're going to have an influence,
very-
Tory Boggs is not a bad one.
Right.
This looks great.
And they all jump together. which
Exactly.
is
Again,
perfect.
another bigger-ish team, you know, a
Right.
team where they all come to practice together and they work together and they learn the skills together. I think you're going to see a lot of the bigger teams in this event for that reason. This has been beautiful so far. You know, and you'll notice some of the skills are as simple as like a jump, double under, jump.
Right.
But it's the
It
way
doesn't-
they're doing it in sequence that makes it really work.
And it's very snappy.
Yep.
To the beat of the music, which is a fast beat.
And not to say it's an easy routine either. They're doing
Right.
very difficult tricks. Wow, that was
Great
gorgeous.
routine. Great routine. Jump
Congratulations, Jump Company. All right, we have a new leader on the leaderboard from the Bouncing Bulldogs, Reagan, Megan, Bailey, and Alexandra. Up next, we have from the Bulldogs, Shalini, Jenna, Lena, and Robin. We've seen them a few times today. So I find that doing the rebound in between, so like the very slow jump in between the big skills I always thought of it as like a pretty European, Australian thing, but we've seen a lot of the Asian countries here doing it a lot. We saw a little bit of that influence there in the Bulldogs. I know it's not their usual.
It's definitely a musical influence, I think, because
That
you
makes
do
sense.
big trick, wait, big trick, wait. Because some beats are very difficult to do multiples to because they're so slow.
You're very right. That would make sense. And it would make sense that I would associate them with those countries because for the most part at the competitions I've been to with them, they've had music.
My personal preference is to, again, go with the phrasing on that rather than the beat.
Right.
And sometimes an
Wow.
8-count phrase, you'll get 6 triples in there. You know,
Right.
so you're not doing it to the beat, but you are taking that whole phrase and doing a
Accenting
multiple sequence
on
with
little
it.
pieces,
Yeah.
Well, that was a beautiful routine from the Bulldogs. All right. All right, next we have from China, Yinan, Wei, Yinghao, and Yu Chao.
Like the pose off the bat. And this is our all-male category.
They just made those quads look like double
So
unders.
easy, yeah. One thing I've noticed from the Asian countries is when they do a mic release, which is where the rope kind of lassos at the side of the body, they stop jumping altogether. And what do you think about that? I have my reservations
Well,
on
I can
it.
tell you have your reservations. Go ahead and tell me about those, and then I'll give you what I think.
I don't like the look of it. I think it suddenly takes me out of the routine to see them stop jumping or, yeah.
No, I get it. I'm with you. I get it. I do like a very dynamic, moving around, jumping.
Nice job, China. Good flip to end it.
Yeah. All right, so the top three is now the Bulldogs, Reagan and Megan, Bailey and Alexandra, Jump Company USA, Cecilia, Abigail, Jillian, and Lily. And then they closed it out right before I saw the third one,
can't
so
see
I can't tell you that right now. The results, however, should be online, so you should be able to see them. Oh,
Oh,
Carolina jump rope. Julia, Cynthia, Megan, and Cameron. All right, now we have out of Mason, Ohio, in the United States, Comet Skippers, Dane, Ridge, Drew, and Jairus. This is a very flippy group, a very creative group. Expect great things from this routine.
Nice back tuck. Got to get back into it. There we go. All right. Some more round-offs into multiples. And a little bit of a struggle getting back in. And there's that frog waterfall we saw a lot of yesterday, or the prelim round anyway. All right, great choreography with the routine, just not the most clean run for them. But again, we haven't seen the rest of the field, so it could be anybody's game at this point. And up next we have APRS from Portugal, Fernando, David, Joao, and Paulo.
We were actually, the World Championships were in Portugal 2 years ago, and I think we were all pretty blown away by the jump rope community that they have created there, and their jumpers are not only incredibly fast, but very creative, and we've seen some really interesting and engaging routines for them throughout the competition, so I'm looking forward to this. So they're using plastic ropes. Do you want to talk, what's your take? Plastic ropes for this event?
Again,
or why would a jumper choose one versus the other is the question.
It'll depend on the skill set that they're using. Again, this is traditionally a more of like a team routine, lower level difficulty, music heavy routine.
That was cool.
So a lot of teams will use beaded ropes. However, these gentlemen are using a lot of multiples in their routines, and licorice will help that for sure. So they're treating it more like a single rope level difficulty, or a single rope freestyle difficulty.
Right.
But you can kind of see the lack of synchronicity
right.
With some of those skills.
Right. Absolutely, I agree. I think that beaded definitely works for this event. I think plastic ropes can work. I think it takes a little bit more practice to get it right. I think probably a couple more mistakes, because generally if you're going to use a plastic rope, you're going to do a harder routine, which there will likely be more mistakes. Call it the bulldog in me, but I definitely say play it safe this event.
Right.
Again, there's obviously a line, right, you want to push for.
This is my favorite pose of the tournament.
Oh, it's so good.
You have to watch this.
All right,
this is jump rope.
Watching your face when they did this the first time, just
oh yeah, I was dying.
One of the best moments of the tournament for me.
Oh, put it on the right camera angle, please, for this pose.
Oh no, they missed it. I'm so sorry, everyone. It was so good. We'll hopefully explain it after the routine. Let's watch the routine for now. Oh, no, they got it.
They got it, but not the best angle for it, it looks like. Oh, it still works. Okay.
So again, this is We Jump Rope. We have Devin, Andrew, Cameron, and Aaron.
And this is the closest thing to single rope fusion I've ever seen.
Yes, it is. It is.
So it's more of a performance here, and they do all kinds of fun skills. don't know quite how it's going to score, even if they hit it.
Right. That was your only but about it in the first round. It was incredibly entertaining, very fun to watch, difficult. Definitely an honest and true performance, kind of variety show piece versus a competitive jump rope routine. But
we've got a little bit of wheel here,
I don't know,
and
maybe
then
you're
we'll go
wrong.
into double Dutch.
It's a full team group show with 4 people.
In the subway. Fun routine. Great job, We Jump Rope. And if you want more fun from We Jump Rope, you can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. And we're having to say goodbye to Susan Zen right now. She is out of the building. Wonderful woman behind the scenes to have for all of the interviews and research that have come our way. So we want to say thank you to her as she leaves. And we are going on to our next event, our next heat, with Jumpin' All-Stars, Luke, Tyler, Dylan, and Jacob. And these guys are off to a great start. And this is a very synchronized group, even though they are using those licorice ropes that tend to be more difficult to do that with. Nice work. Little traveler section. I love that, yeah. There we go.
Again, those multiples are, I've seen those guys jump. I know those are easy multiples for them, but the way they just did them all together, it looks so good.
Right.
Unfortunately, not getting credit for those skills, but they should have enough content as long as the mistakes don't hurt them too much. All right, great job, Jumpin' All-Stars.
All right, next up we have Korean national team.
I love their spirit. I feel like every time they come on the floor, they are so excited to be there. They're like, it's so funny. They're like, I don't know if I'm going to get another chance at this. It's kind of how they're acting, but it's like they'll be on for the next event.
Right.
But I do love how they like savor their time on the floor, and they really do like feel like, it seems like they really appreciate the experience of their jumping. It makes a difference.
Yeah. A little bit of a delay there on the start. See, this is those multiple pauses that were musical.
Right. And also those quads were insane.
Right. And again, these guys are using the licorice ropes, because those are a lot of multiple unders they're going to do in this routine. Great floater releases. Oh, a little off sync. There's that Toto Kruger.
It's a personal favorite.
Yeah.
I don't hate how often we're seeing it.
I want to just call it the passport. Because you have to have it to get in. I love their endings
ending
too.
Is so epic. Yeah. I wish there was a requirement where every jumper who went on the floor had to do something
had to vocalize
that
something.
Epic. Yeah, yell something at the end of their routine to summarize how they felt.
Right.
It would definitely make commentating more interesting.
Yeah.
Not that it isn't interesting. I just feel like that would add a whole another level to it. All right.
Here they come with their dynamic shout.
Ooh, the routine was great, but the dynamic shout at the end was
They'll lose
not
points
that
on the,
dynamic.
Yeah. All right, moving along to the hot shots.
Out of Tennessee in the U.S.
And this is our mixed category.
We're into the mix.
William, Kara, Paige, and Karen.
So I think in this event, historically, I think the genders have mattered. I also think, again, as I've said about the genders in freestyle before, it kind of comes down to also what age you are. I think there's certain points in development where girls are stronger than boys and boys are stronger than girls, and I think we get to a level where they end up kind of about the same. With boys having maybe a still slight strength advantage. While my experience of a lot of female athletes is they're a little more put together and I put a little more practice time in. That's not the truth at all. It's just, you know, an observation I've had.
No, I agree with that observation. I don't know what it is with the male competitors, but they tend to want to push the envelope, and sometimes it's not the wisest decision to do that. And this routine is going really well.
It really is. You can tell they've done a lot of performances.
Right.
They look very comfortable out there.
Nice ending.
Great job, hot shots. Remember, if you come across any questions, you have any comments, any opinions, you love something that we're talking about, you hate something we're talking about, we want to know it all. Reach out to us on Twitter. You can use the hashtag WorldJumpRope2018, or you can tweet at us. My Twitter handle is @NoEasyTricks.
I am at FlightCrewJRope. And I'll open my Twitter now so I can see if anybody's gotten a hold of me. But next up on the floor, we have the Kangaroo Kids, Jenna, Emily, Lillian, and Michael.
Kangaroo Kids is another team that, I guess, like when I think of Kangaroo Kids, I think of this group routine. We haven't talked about group routines, have we? It's kind of like a very skills level wise simple, but intricate when you put a bunch of jumpers in together. They just have like a finesse kind of way of being while they're jumping that is definitely long standing on their team. Like for all of Kangaroo Kid time, this is an event I would expect them to be really good at, and they're definitely delivering. And there's a nice shotgun, we call that in Traveler. So Traveler is when the jumper is jumping over the other jumpers with their rope when they're not using their rope, and then the shotgun is when they go down the line really quickly like that.
All right, nice work.
Very pretty routine.
Now, I don't know if we mentioned this, and I feel a little bad for mentioning it this far into the competition, but these heats that we're seeing are in order of opposite rank. So the last person to go is the one that scored the highest in the prelims.
Right. I think that's an important thing to, or it can be a helpful thing to know.
Right.
So I guess just to further explain that, these jumpers all competed in the preliminary rounds, and the order in which they are competing today, the jumpers who went first had the last scores to make it in, and then these last jumpers are the ones with the highest scores. So it's kind of like building the excitement.
Right. And in the preliminary rounds, there were 900 competitors, over 30 countries.
4 or 5 days of competition, 4 days of competition.
And so these are the top 6 finishers per gender division, regardless of their age group.
Right.
So in the preliminary rounds, everybody got their medals within their age category, and then the top scores overall are the ones in the finals.
Absolutely. So here we have Hong Kong team, Wing Ye, Lok Yu, Se Chu, and Yu Kajing. I like that diagonal. I always think it looks nice when jumpers in this event go on a diagonal.
Right, diagonal. Yeah, the formations are one of the nice aspects of this routine, or this event.
Woo! Didn't see that coming.
All right, nice
All right.
job, Hong Kong.
All right, up next we have from the, just turn it over. We have from the Comet Skippers, Mason, Ohio. Again, you're gonna see, it's not a surprise that we see a lot of the same teams in this event. They're big teams, they're teams that come to practice and work together a lot, so their styles are very similar, and they also are probably gonna be very well practiced.
Yeah.
And that's two really important aspects of being successful in this event are
Going to practice.
going to practice
And having a team.
and having a team. but you know, jumping like one another.
Right.
But also we've seen some groups who, you know, they've met up for the first time in a long time to practice
Right.
before they came here. That's not really going to fly in this event.
Right.
These are teams that have been working consistently throughout the year. So Comet's another one of those teams. And we have Kevin, Noel, Adam, and Lindsay. Nice catch.
Yeah.
That's a definite risk in an event with 4 people, is a mick
release,
release like
yeah.
that, but love to see it pay off. There's that Kevin Morrissey presentation.
Good scoop sequence.
I love this part with
Nice.
the music.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Hey.
To me, in like a lot of ways, that's how this event is done.
Right.
Very well coordinated to the music. They had the audience in mind when they were putting together the visuals of it. Just a really, really job well done by the Comet Skippers in that routine. All right, up next from the Bulldogs, we have Jordan, Anna, Leave, and Kenneth.
Strong multiple sequence to open it up.
I like also that flip landing in a crab where they all did it going the same way. Looked really nice.
Easy scoop. Nice job.
Very nice.
All right. I like their selfie pose from Korea. Impressive multiple unders here. More multiple unders. do a little bit of the power. So this routine has a lot of great content in it, but there's several breaks within it that I'm not sure how it'll end up the score. It was very much like trick, jump, 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 trick, jump, 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 or like a small series and then add some more jumps. So we'll see how that affects their density score. And our final entry here is Heart and Soul, Kaylee, Joshua, Dylan, and Graham. And this is a group that comes from all over the place. So we have Kaylee's in Tennessee, Josh is in Utah, Graham is in North Carolina, and Dylan is in Ohio. But this is one of the best routines I've seen in this tournament. So keep your eyes peeled. Wow, 4 backward frogs. It's a very fast routine too. Scoops. All these are incredible jumpers. Wow. And all 4 of these guys have pretty form, easy to jump together. Nice, a double under frog. Waterfall. Great scoops. And such energy. Hey, great routine from Heart and Soul. And they got a standing ovation from some of the competitors out here. I think that was a successful routine. I think they'll do very well with that. And we are going to move on to our double Dutch freestyles here in a moment. But first we're going to give out the awards for our team freestyles. And we'll be interviewing a couple teams of athletes here. And so up first we're going to have the Wii jump rope group down with Aneshka.
Oh, sweet.
So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss them.
All right, if anybody wants to add anything after I'm done, just grab the mic, all right? I'll
Hello, we have team We Jump Rope. Yay! They did an amazing performance and had a really unique routine. And everybody is for sure asking, why did you do wheel and double Dutch in your single rope team freestyle?
So we actually have a funny story about that. Last year, Drew and I were doing pairs, and we did wheel at the beginning of our routine. And a lot of people said that it was very strange that we were doing wheel in a routine where wheel was a separate event. But it ended up working pretty well for us, so we decided, let's do every single event in our 4-style this year. So we ended up doing wheel and double Dutch all in our single rope routine.
This is really creative. Thank you very much. You did excellent. Congratulations, and good luck for next events. Thank you.
Single rope team freestyle. The ones giving the awards away this time, the award presenters are Maria Frank of the Federación Colombiana de Salto con Cuerda. We have Roberto Acosta from Puerto Rico, Jump Rope Federation of the Trotamundos. And we have Juan Pablo Villalba from the Federación Argentina de Salto de Soga. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Single rope team freestyle female in third place from Carolina Jump Rope, Cameron, Julia, Megan, and Cynthia. And in second place from Jump Company USA, Cecilia, Abigail, Jillian, and Lily. And our grand champions in first place from the Bouncing Bulldogs, Alexandra, Reagan, Bailey, and Megan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise to the national anthem of the United States of America. All right, thank you so much, ladies. Awesome effort today. Next is the single rope team freestyle, male gender division. In third place, we have the Korean national team, Jaewon, Yinghyun, Yangchuk, and Insup. In second place from the Jumpin' All-Stars, Dylan, Jacob, Luke, and Tyler. And our grand champions in first place from We Jump Rope, Devin, Aaron, Andrew, and Cameron. And now please rise to the national anthem of the United States. Very nicely done. Up next, single rope team freestyle mixed gender division. In third place from the Hot Shots, Tennessee, Kara, Paige, William, and Karen. In second place, Bouncing Bulldogs, Kenneth, Jordan, Anna, and Leaf. And our grand champions in first place from Heart and Soul, Graham, Kaylee, Josh, and Dylan. All right, great job, everybody. And once again, please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Super job, everybody. We're now getting set up for the double Dutch single freestyle. But first, we're going to do a quick interview. And ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, you want to be here after the DDC for the unveiling announcement of the 2019 World Jump Rope location. The much anticipated location announcement will occur today at the conclusion of the Double Dutch contest.
Hi, so I'm so happy to be here with this Heart and Soul team. That last routine was unreal. First of all, I know that you all jump for different teams, so how did this group and this routine come together?
Yeah, so Josh and Kaylee kind of spearheaded the whole thing, and we had jumped this event together in the past, and we knew we wanted to do it again, and Dylan, we all respect as a fantastic jumper, so we were like, he would be a fantastic person to add to this team. So we kind of just texted each other and decided we were going to do this.
And now, Josh, I know you've been dealing with some injuries in the last couple of years. Nonetheless, the last couple of months, you partially tore your
Achilles. Yes.
2 months ago, a month ago?
Yes. About 2 months ago, I was jumping in a show, and I was getting out of the ropes and partially tore my left Achilles. So for the last few months, I've been recovering and getting ready for the championships.
So the obvious question is, how are you doing this? You know, given that that's an injury that could keep people out for months and months, how are you back in the competition and jumping the way you're jumping?
So I've had an amazing team of doctors and physical therapists behind me, and it's definitely been an adjustment. I have to change how I warm up, how I recover after competing, how I jump in between events. But I have amazing teammates and an amazing God who has helped me through this, and amazing doctors as well.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. You're a joy to watch, and we're excited to see you in other events.
Thank you very much.
All right, nicely done. Thank you, Erica, Josh, Dylan, Graham, and Kaylee. We're going to be moving very quickly into the Double Dutch Single Freestyle. So we have Double Dutch Single Freestyle and Double Dutch Pairs Freestyle. That will conclude the grand finals, followed by the Double Dutch
we're moving
contest,
on into
the
the
DDC.
Double Dutch portion of the day. We're going to start with the Double Dutch Single Freestyle. And we will start with the females. Yes, we'll start with the female division. And again, we are taking the top 6 routines in each gender category: female, male, and open. And for this event, we have 2 turners, 1 jumper, and 2 very long ropes called Double Dutch. And just like the single rope freestyles, they are required to do certain elements in their routines: strength and power sequences, switch sequences, multiple unders, and using the floor and direction change of the ropes. And they're supposed to do as many difficult skills as they can within the required time. And obviously they want to be clean, no mistakes, and perform it well. So here we have Hot Dog USA, Alexis, Bryn, and Phoebe. And Alexis actually used to be a member of the Summerwind Skippers. And moved to Seattle with her family. And is now on Hot Dog. She's the one doing the turn involvement there. We have a nice switch sequence. A little caught on the foot, but not a huge deal. Little fall out of the pose, but not a big deal. Great job, Hot Dog.
Haley.
Hey, Erica, how you doing? Great
Dan-
interviews down there.
Oh, thank you very much. Dandy. Good. I'm so excited about this event. This is totally my favorite event in jump rope.
Double Dutch singles?
Yep.
Because it's Double Dutch Day, a finals day.
Double Dutch Day. Yeah, this event is my favorite. I just find the medium of Double Dutch to be, there's just so much room for anything. I think being creative is easier. I think the possibility of creativity is like just kind of,
So high.
yeah, so high. I love working with a group. I love seeing groups work together. And I don't necessarily love having more than one.
Jumper in the middle?
Right. I think it's definitely a lot more fun. You can do harder stuff this way, and I like that.
Yeah, this is also the event that the turners are most involved in.
Right. The group is doing something more as a dynamic whole, whereas in other events it'd be just the turners and the jumpers, and I
Right.
like seeing everyone move together. I love that move. We were talking in the first round about how
Belly turning.
yeah, belly turning is something we generally use to train jumpers how to turn, but I do love that they brought this into the routine.
Right.
Oh, I like
Nice
that.
roll kip. Ooh.
I like that they just turned at the same time. She makes
Great
that front flip
flip.
look so easy.
Right. And a 6.
And the 6, yep. I can say we're comfortably in the era of jump rope that if you don't have a 6 in your routine, the level of contents, you just, you know.
Get out.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
it depends
done.
on the other level of competition, but 6 is kind of standard now.
Right.
That was a great routine. Good job, Bulldogs.
All right. We have Summerwind Skippers coming down on the floor. Erica, Susanna, and Sakura. And I was going to say, it's interesting to see that these three working together because Sakura has always worked with some of the same groups, like for probably good 8 years she's been working with the same groups. And Susanna is a jumper who joined Summerwind only a couple years ago, maybe more like 4 years ago, from U Sports FX. And Erica is the coach or assistant coach of Summerwind Skippers. So
Nice.
it's just kind of a hodgepodge,
Yeah.
it seems, but
In
they
my
work together
experience,
great.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about on the whole live stream about how the groups that have been together for a long time kind of have this thing about them that really works. But I also tend to find that the hodgepodge groups can always come around and surprise everyone. Sometimes it's nice to mix things up and you kind of discover new things about yourself as a jumper. And oh, nice!
Press
Pulled that
handstand to
off.
hand
Yep.
hop. And we've seen Sakura a lot in the freestyles today.
And it's, I was gonna. That's where I was gonna start with was ooh
Great
yes. Nice routine.
Hey.
Hey.
Way to go, Summerwind.
That was wonderful. You know, they're a team, one of many teams that we've seen a lot today. We tend to kind of see a lot of the same routines over and over. You were one of those jumpers who would kind of find himself in a lot of different events. What do you think separates the jumpers who specialize, or like what has people specialize in a certain event versus like really go for the whole well-rounded thing?
I think it's just a matter of time and where they're able to put their time. Fortunately for me, Summerwind practices multiple times a week, and I was able to, through my college career, continue to go to those practices every day or nearly every day, and so that helped. If you are one of those college-age jumpers who has a huge demand at school or has a part-time job or a full-time job or has other sort of things going on in their lives, it's harder to make those practices, and so you have to really restrict what you're going to focus on.
Oh, I like this. All right, so here we have from the Bulldogs, Bella, Rachel, Rebecca. Oh, I love that. Rachel's turning the ropes behind her back while they turn quads.
Right.
And Rebecca
No
can
big
jump
deal.
so high. It's a really good sequence for them.
Right.
Anytime you have a jumper who can jump super high, it's always like, yes, our multiples are going to be so good this year.
Right. I remember when we were on Summerwind and we had Brian Diebels, who was a 6'4" volleyball player with a monster vertical.
Woo!
Great job, Bulldogs. And
That's how we spell clean.
we were like, yeah, we've got 8 in the bag here.
Yeah.
So that's good.
No, I totally got that.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Although
So proud. Go Bulldogs.
because he was so tall, we had to follow him up and down with the ropes rather than just turn it. We had
Yeah,
to-
you had to move, literally, the ropes couldn't touch the ground during
Right.
the pieces of it. Yeah, I can get that.
All right, moving on to Indy Air Bears.
This is another, we've seen Taylor in the single freestyle event. We've seen these guys all over. We have Catherine, Allison, and Taylor. Nice split.
Right,
And
splits turning.
Turner, yep.
Again with those short
They're
ropes.
so small.
Great cartwheel. And a wheel sequence.
It kind of really does look like they're doing two-wheel, and then Taylor's just kind of
Right,
fitting in
right
there.
there. Yep.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
It's a great presentation right
That
there.
step and scoop, but in the double dutch.
I wonder if that has a trademark yet, or if you could have that.
Step and scoop?
Yep.
It's possible. Shout us out if that trick already has a name. I like that switch. Hey. Nice press. Great turning. Look at that. Ropes on the ground. Awesome job in the Air Bears. That was a great performance. All right, we have Bouncing Bulldogs coming up. Reagan, Bailey, and Alexandra. And they are our final competitors in the female division. And right now it looks as though Summerwind Skippers, Susanna, Erica, and Sakura are in the top spot. Couple of hand hops there. Good turning. Nice wheel. Switch.
That's been a pretty common trick this competition too.
The
The push-up, straddle up to frog.
Yeah. Good multiples. She's getting a little
Ooh.
close.
Ooh,
Ooh.
they pulled it off.
Yep.
Sometimes when it comes to tricky multiples like that, you get to a safe point and you know you can breathe again.
Right.
Until the next thing comes up that you're nervous about.
Great routine, Bulldogs. Great job.
Absolutely, very clean. All right, so let's talk ropes. We talked about rope length a little.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk styles. I mean,
Beaded
obviously
versus-
we've seen beaded a lot in this
Mhm.
competition. Is that the only option for double dutch freestyle?
No. One option that you'll see a lot of times in the DDC, but sometimes it'll make its way into other events, is cloth ropes. And there's just a little more control with them.
Right, and those actually originated from the National Double Dutch League. We've talked on the other days a little bit about the history of jump rope and how we kind of got to here, and a big part of that is there was the Double Dutch League was one of the I guess like really where the sport first started, and then they're kind of separate worlds, the Double Dutch world and the jump rope world, and it's been really nice to watch them start to mix and mingle and give each other some influence, and we'll get more to that in DDC. Big first flip.
Nice. And here we are with the male division. Big flips. This is China. Yinan, Wei, and Yu Chao. Nice front flip. Wow. Just a side flip for nothing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You got it, flaunt it. A little speed step there.
Hey. You can see the performance aspect shining through there
Absolutely.
with a little look at the audience when the skill is complete. Ooh. All right. Great run from China. Just that little mistake there at the end. And next we have the Jumpin' All-Stars. And it looks like Summerwind Skippers took the top spot there for the open, or the female division. We have Jumpin' All-Stars, Tyler, Luke, and Dylan.
Again, first time at this competition. Definitely not the first time at a competition.
Right. These guys are
Experienced
jumpers. Look at that. Nice.
Yeah, that body control. Ooh, unreal. Oh, that looks like it was
Good.
on purpose.
Good job fixing the ropes there real quick.
Yeah, it looks like they were about to make a mistake, but instead they just started turning the ropes backwards.
Inside out.
And it looked like it somehow was a part of the routine,
Right,
too.
right, right. Great multiples. Super comfortable. Several sixes in a row.
Again, maybe that is the small rope thing.
Right.
Because these ropes are also very small. But look
Well,
at the
these
way
guys
they're
are
able
using
go
them to their
six.
advantage. You
Oh,
know,
for
they're,
sure.
they're doing the skill that you want the short ropes for.
Exactly. It makes sense
So.
given what they're doing, and
Right.
they're doing it well.
Little wheel sequence
Maybe
here.
what it is, it just takes a little bit of, or a certain amount of experience with those ropes to get them down. That said, my recommendation to new jumpers is still longer ropes than these.
Right. Nice job. Power sequence. That was a great job from the Jumpin' All-Stars. Next up we have from Yabai the Boys, Kazuki, Kohei, and Ryosuke.
These guys are funny. I interviewed them earlier, and I said, what does it take to beat your own world record 5 times in a row? And they said,
Practice makes perfect.
practice makes perfect. Like, yeah, I want.
We know, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
It's really brand new information,
Right.
but they were totally just messing with me.
And these guys will have a distinctly
yeah.
Japanese fusion style.
This will be like anything we've seen yet today. And you're gonna
Hand
like
hops.
You're gonna like it if you've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Just 8 hand hops. No
Yeah,
big
why
deal.
not? Oh,
Yes,
that
that's
was
the release,
thing.
yeah.
That was it. I saw it this time. The turner released the handle, and it looks like, honestly, like gravity stopped just for a moment, and then
Right.
grabbed it again right before going into a very, very fast, like quadruple under.
Whoa.
Wow. That's what
And I
Lee would
love
call an
how-
off-axis flip.
Yeah. Not just me, a lot of people.
I know, but I'm not that complicated of a.
Oh, okay.
I've never done an off-axis flip, so I'll leave it for you,
Okay.
flippy folks.
Flippy folks. Yes, another release.
Yes.
And they're doing a lot of very like kicky things so close to each other that you'd think they would be worried about it, but they have such a level of confidence
Yes.
about them.
The ropes are like.
What?
I just feel like this is more of like a acrobatics dance performance where ropes are just kind of a part of it.
Jeez.
Yes, that
Yes.
ending was unreal. I missed that last time. So cool. Ooh, that just got me
That
so
was-
excited
yeah.
for DDC.
And so those guys were using, they're using cloth ropes?
Yes, they
They're
are.
very thin looking cloth ropes.
Yes, they are. Yeah, so we talked about cloth ropes, we talked about beaded ropes, we talked in Double Dutch about plastic ropes. That said, all cloth, beaded, and plastic ropes aren't created equal. There can be really fat, heavy cloth ropes, and then there can be really thin, light ones. Same with the beaded ropes. Some of these jumpers are jumping with really light beaded ropes, and some of them are jumping with things a little heavier. The reason, again, just being a matter of how much control you want or how much you want the rope to kind of just fall down on its own.
Ridge,
Oh,
huge
I love that
backflip.
X out. All right,
Yep.
so I talked to these guys about their routine. They said that Ridge told me that the flip he's most excited for is in the end he does a back handspring on his forearms.
Oh yeah, I like
and he's
that
super
one.
excited about that.
Ooh. Dylan in the middle. Did he say somersault right when he did the somersault? Yes, that one was great.
That was the other part they were really
Oh,
looking forward
yeah.
to.
They hit that in prelims and it was
Yeah,
crazy.
they did. It was very cool. Anytime a jumper and a turner can do a flip at the same time, but especially a backflip.
I think that's the first backflip I've seen by the turner before. I've seen the front flip a couple of times.
I know that the Hot Dog Boys in 08 did the toe pitch, the turner.
Oh, but while he's turning.
Yeah, while he was turning. Like Skrnick got toe pitched. Anyways,
Okay.
we'll get to this later.
Wow.
I also totally confirmed my theory with them that the way they make up flips is they just
Throw it
jump
around.
up in the air, spin, and see where they land.
Right.
Make sure it doesn't hurt too bad. I was like, is that what happens? And he said, yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much how it goes. Definitely, that routine definitely didn't go as well as it went in prelims,
Right.
but listen, this is part of the game of going out there and doing some incredibly difficult game-changing
Right, that's the risky
skills.
run
Right.
when you're doing crazy things.
And listen,
Speaking of crazy things,
oh, jeez.
This
is gonna be
routine-
so crazy.
Josh, Zach, and Maverick.
Josh is having quite a competition. I mean, given what we just heard about his injuries, I know he's
Right.
had 4 hip surgeries in the last 6 years.
Wow.
In addition to, he partially tore his Achilles 2 months ago. He just won the last event. And these guys don't live in the same state.
Right.
They have not been practicing together. That said, the first day was one of my favorite routines I saw all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great routine
Yes.
and some new things.
That said, the 3 of them.
Wow.
Ooh.
Double under 180 hand hops.
Individually, the double Dutch singles they've participated in have been some of my favorites ever.
Yes, horizontal. Yeah. They're getting close to mistake, but oh,
All right, get back in there.
here we go. Nice. Wow. Great multiple
Yes.
sequence. And throw.
And still
Hey,
beautiful. There we go.
Great routine.
That is
Great
Hot Dog
routine.
USA, Zachary, Maverick, and Josh. Josh, originally a heart and soul.
In their coach's box is Ben, former teammate of Zach and Maverick.
Yeah, he's pretty much just watching Josh take his place.
Right.
But Ben's in school this year in Chicago, so they didn't train together. This is something a lot of jumpers are kind of up against, especially if you ever jump with jumpers younger than you or jumpers who, you know, a lot of jumpers stay in school in state. But if you go out of state, it's kind of hard to compete. But I'm
Right.
really impressed with the way they put that together.
Oh, yeah,
and
that was a great
maintained it,
routine.
And just awesome.
There's a slow motion replay of the multiples, 5
Into
and
Mavericks
then
bar.
5 and then 6. And to be quite honest, in double Dutch, a 5 is technically more difficult to do than a 6.
Right.
That was a double full.
All right,
into
yeah, we
these
got to
ropes.
talk about these
yeah,
guys.
these
This
guys
is
were
Proform
insane.
Airborne, Porter, Seth, Dalton.
Another incredible routine.
Ooh,
Full to push
Full
up.
into a push-up. That's wild. So backflip with a full twist in the air. The first one he did was 2 full twists in a backflip, which is hard to do without the ropes.
Oh, drop of the rope.
Fix it, fix it, fix it.
Oh, come on, boys. Crazy multiple sequence.
Unreal. Made it look so easy, too. Like
Right.
it took nothing. Whoa!
Wow! Love that.
Yeah.
And the
Front
thing
flip,
about
then give me that rope. I'll take it. Thank you.
about this routine is like almost every moment is a snapshot is incredible.
Right.
You
Like
can
they
save it,
they spent all year coming up with this is the stuff we have to have, and then at
Right.
the end they had a full routine.
Right. And throw.
Yes, they hit that.
Great
Excellent.
job.
Oh, so
Little
great.
mistake in the
Yeah,
middle there. We'll see how it affects their score.
it was a little cleaner day one,
Right.
but
But it wasn't bad.
I do want to say the same thing I said day one, which is I love the way those guys don't hold back on the flips. They don't hold back on the hard stuff, but they also never make it about that. It's
Right.
the full routine. There's always something going on with the turners. There's always something moving going on with the jumpers, and there isn't a part that they skimped on, where I find, it's really common in jump rope to have big flips and big tricks and to let the turning be kind of blah or let
Right.
the rest of the routine be kind of blah. They really attack every element of it, and I appreciate
Or
that.
sometimes you don't believe that. Like, I believe that those guys were very clean most of the time they rehearsed it. It
Right.
wasn't like, we're just going to try this and see what we do. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't, I've never hit this before, but why not put it out on a world stage?
Right.
All right, another one. Jeez.
Another great.
David,
We're in
Zach,
our
Megan,
mixed category here.
skip stations.
Wow, hand hop, one-handed.
Alternating hands,
Yep.
too. Again, really small ropes, but that opening sequence, I'm sorry.
Right.
Needed a second to process that. He's really awesome, David.
Nice aerial like it's nothing. Another aerial like it's nothing. Turning around with multiple unders. Wow.
It's like all in one place, too, you know?
Right. And the thing about it is
Oh, this is it.
yeah, he did that exact combination in single rope,
Yeah.
which this has got to be 10 times easier to do without the rope in your hand, right?
It's just as cool.
But it's so cool.
it's just so cool.
It's so cool.
All right. I'm like overwhelmed by the creativity of these jumpers. Like there's not enough time to talk about the things I want to talk about. I have to kind of catch my breath for a second. I'm impressed. And
This is
listen,
double Dutch, folks.
This is double Dutch. And
So many things going on.
Not to put a damper on anything. I mean, I will say I think a lot of these routines we did see more clean the first day. Double Dutch singles was like a bomb, like a really awesome event day one. You know, double Dutch singles was very clean. All of these groups were very clean. And then, but that's again part of the name of the game of a jump rope competition is the odds that you get an event to be awesome 2 full days
Right.
is slim.
It's tough, yeah.
And these guys, the level of difficulty and creativity make it so that I'm still at the edge of my seat the whole time.
Right.
All right. Korean national team, Hyunji, Yusong, and Yeonjae.
Now, a lot of crossing with the turners. And a couple of double unders there as well.
I like that
Nice leapfrog
transition, the
front flip,
jump
yeah.
over into a flip.
There we go.
Very impressive. Again, bringing in that two-wheel that we saw in the two-wheel event earlier. Bringing those skills into the double Dutch ropes gives them a lot of points from the judges.
Nice. And the
Nice.
spin. Yep.
Yeah, made that look good.
I believe we'll see similar sequence from another group. Oh, and there.
And there's a
Fell
slight
space.
time violation.
Space is close.
Right. Great routine. Either way. So we want to hear from you if you are a long-time jump rope fan, an ex-competitor, a parent, a friend, or especially
Someone new.
I just kind of saw this site and thought this looked cool, and here I am. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking, what you like, what you want to know that you don't know. Make sure you tweet at us. Use the hashtag World Jump Rope 2018. All right, next up, we have Next Step Jump Rope with Sarah, JP, and Connor. Another team we've seen a lot today. Connor was in the 30-second speed jump off, which was settled at 105.
It was settled?
Yeah.
Or like they settled at a tie?
That's just where it ended.
Right.
That's what I meant by settled.
Oh, okay.
I don't know further, actually. Oh, yeah, I think they just put them on the podium next to each other.
Okay. I forgot. It feels like days ago when we did.
I know, it really
30-second
does.
speed.
Some good forearm frogs.
Great
handstands
turning.
from Sarah.
JP's
Pretty
in the middle.
aerial.
Yep. Like the
Nice.
kicks.
Yep.
Good kick sequence.
That same, straddle up frog.
Nice, multiple sequence. Great job.
All right, Lee, will you talk a little bit about the time limit? We didn't see it as much in those first events as an issue, but it's now something that's coming up. What do you think?
Right. So the time limit is you have to be between 45 seconds and a minute 15. And the reason why we're probably seeing a lot of time issues with this event is because double Dutch, there's a tendency to want to throw a lot into your routine, so it's not as physically strenuous as, say, a single rope freestyle. So going a minute 15 is not very difficult, especially when you have 3 people to more or less share the load of the skills and things. But also, when there's a mistake, it takes longer to recover from, to reset, and to get back into. So
Right.
you're having generally a little bit longer routines plus a longer reset time. And that's
Good.
why you'll see the time violations.
Perfect. What? I love that.
I love the hand hop
I love
scoop.
that. All right, so we have Carolina jump rope, Noah, Graham, and Cynthia. We just saw, was it double under hand hops, but in a wheel? Is that how
Right.
you would describe that? So the 2 ropes went under his hands each time he jumped up on his hands, and they were doing it in a
And
wheel.
he was turning his own rope.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, cash. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, some great creativity out of this group.
A good combination of like really intense, difficult skills, and also like
Doing them
light
really
and
well.
fun creativity and beautiful form.
Right.
It's kind of the trifecta.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of beautiful form.
Right?
Oh. It's all right. Oh, almost. And just right back into it. Oh, man.
When sometimes, especially when you're in a wheel and you're all tied up like that, it's sometimes better to take a second.
Right.
It looks like that what happened there was they tried to move on a little too quickly.
Wow. Nice switch sequence with that multiples. I think that's the song of the tournament, though. Bounce Off.
Yeah, it could be one.
I've never heard it before today.
Maybe Lemon?
What?
It's called Lemon.
It's called Lemon?
It's Rihanna and NERD.
Oh, Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God, Lee.
I'm out of
goodness.
the times, guys. I'm old. It's official.
I was gonna say we've been teaching Lee about the trends, but I have had to learn about most of the trends.
Hey, I
Kids
know
are
about
doing
the
all
shoot.
the trends these days. We do know
I
about
know
the
the shoot, and
I
I
will
know the
say-
floss.
I'm excited. I hope the group that did the shoot, but then we're like, no, we're not doing the shoot. I hope they go again because I like that. All right,
Indie Air Bears,
picture perfect beginning.
Cynthia, Graham, and Noah.
Nope.
No, that was just.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Let me find them on my sheet. We have Eric, Elise, and Grace. And Elise and Grace won the pairs freestyle.
Yep.
And Eric was actually up there as well. I think he was third in the mixed or second in the mixed.
Yep. Notice the way they're, when they want to get the ropes apart, they pull them so that there's like no slack in them. It's a really quick and easy way in this event to make sure that you have your ropes apart when you need them.
There's very intricate multiples in there. They made them look super easy.
They make, they really do make them look easy. And I can just tell you how much multiples are not easy, especially with the quads and all the intricacy they're adding to it. Great use of an assisted aerial, very well placed.
Nice kamikaze with a giant rope.
This is another trend we've seen here a lot. Ooh.
A big scoop.
Yep, a big scoop with the Traveler. I would say with the exception of that end part, that was a great routine.
A great routine.
I feel like I'm at a loss for words. Like on some level, I don't feel like I'm doing the jumpers justice because they are so creative and I'm running out of like ways to express.
You can only say awesome so many times.
Yeah, I do feel a little lame
so
for always
ways.
being like, oh, it's so great.
So
but like,
good.
I actually really mean it. And I don't know how to express my sincerity beyond.
Well, because we
what
were
I've
saying that
expressed.
about these routines in prelims too. It was just broken up by some other routines that weren't as awesome.
Right.
But now that they're all here, it's awesome, awesome, awesome,
It's
awesome,
just like a
awesome.
little bit shocking.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of creativity for one competition. It's pretty cool that I have this problem that I'm generating. All right,
we have Seed,
June,
Haruka, and Yuki.
Look at us.
Bam.
High five.
We've been doing this a while, folks.
Yeah. We're starting to take each other's words. So again, you can expect the Japanese style, a lot of charisma, some unreal rope control already. The fact that they're standing up so and turning for someone who's down low, jumping that low, it just shows their precision. Beautiful
Very
split.
nice. Yep. And it's interesting to see them because it looks as though they're trying that they're a DDC team trying to adapt to our system. You know?
Absolutely. We've talked a lot yesterday, and I'm sure we'll have this conversation again today about jump ropers becoming DDCers. So jump ropers becoming, I guess, like learning the style of jump rope that the Japanese innovated and are so good at. But I guess there is also the other way around, you know, watching how these Japanese teams are adjusting to competing on the jump rope stage.
Right.
Very different. There's that charisma. Knew we'd see that.
Right. All right, so far, Indie Air Bears are in the lead.
If you don't follow the World Jump Rope Federation on Twitter, you should. They're saying just some great video clips, and they're being really funny. They have this one they just put up that says, Carolina Jump Rope got all the swag, and it's great. They stop the ropes, and Graham gives them a little bit of like a talk to the hand vibe. Very funny. I'm going to retweet that.
Well,
all
it
right.
looks like we're going down to the floor with Aneshka here with the Summerwind Skippers, who are our female double Dutch champions.
Hello, we have Summerwind Skippers here with us, and they just won double Dutch single freestyle. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
You had an amazing performance. Tell us,
Thank you so much.
how long have you been practicing for winning routine?
Well, it was kind of crazy. In the beginning of this year, we actually had a different group. One of our members had to drop out. So we didn't really start making up this routine until January, and then through then we've had different injuries and all of us work, and so it's been kind of crazy trying to find every minute we can to pull this routine together. But I guess every practice we have, we utilize it so much, and so we came out with a super awesome routine that we're really proud of.
Oh, thank you. It was really awesome. You deserve for that a huge applause, please. Thank you.
So much effort. I didn't know. Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you, Aneshka and the Summerwind Skippers. Great job on your routines and your awards. We are going to go down to the award ceremony now for single rope, double dutch single freestyle.
We're getting right into the double dutch single freestyle female. In third place from the Bouncing Bulldogs, Bella, Rachel, and Rebecca. Awesome job in second place. In the Air Bears, Taylor, Allison, and Katie. And our grand champions in first place from the Summerwind Skippers, Susanna, Erica, and Sakura. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Please rise while we play the national anthem of the United States. All right, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much, wonderful job. And up next is the double dutch single freestyle. Awards for the male competitors. Male competitors. In third place from Yabada Boys, Ryusuke, Kazuki, and Kohei. In second place from the Jumpin' All-Stars, Dylan, Luke, and Tyler. And our grand champions in first place from Hot Dog USA, Josh, Zach, and Maverick. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, please rise to the national anthem of the United States of America. Awesome job today, everyone. Thank you, gentlemen. Up next is the Double Dutch Single Freestyle Mixed Gender Division Awards. In third place, from Seed from Japan, Haruka, Jun, and Yuki. In second place from Skip Stations, David, Megan, and Zach. And our grand champions in first place from Indy Air Bears, Eric, Grace, and Elise. All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, please rise to the national anthem of the United States of America. Cindy Cena, if you're in the house, please make yourself known to Valerie. Cindy Cena, judging double Dutch.
All right, we are going back to the competition floor with our double Dutch pairs freestyle category. And we're going to start with our all-female division. But it looks like we're going to have a quick interview first with the Skipsations with Erica on the floor.
So I'm here with the Skipsations. I'm with Maddie, David, and Zach. And Megan, I'm so sorry. Megan, I wanted to first tell you that the kind of creativity you guys brought to the floor was unreal.
Thank you.
And I just got to catch up with you for a second. Megan, I know you said you hadn't even planned on competing this year. How did that end up happening?
Yeah, so I just finished my first year of college, and so going into it, I was kind of thinking last year was my last year. And then I come home for a fall break in October, and Zach's at practice. He's like, hey, do you want to do a double Dutch 3 with me? I don't really have a group. I think it'd be really fun. And he somehow talked me into joining him for one more year. So it turned out really great, and I'm really happy that I came back.
And I know, Zach, I've talked to you after a couple events, and I know that you've been reaching out to people kind of around the country to jump with you. How do you choose who you reach out to? What's that whole process like, finding a group?
So pretty much I look at who I'm friends with and who doesn't have a group at that point, because those are the two things that are needed. You need to have good chemistry already, because if you don't have a lot of time to develop it at that point. So that's pretty helpful.
And did you guys have a lot of time to practice? Can you tell me about how the practicing went for this event?
So we decided David would join us, I think in the spring, right? Spring break-ish. And we had between when school actually no, we had a week since, yeah, because that's when David came down. He came down for a week. We worked on our pairs routine, and then we worked on our double Dutch routine, and we went about 2 to 3 hours a day working on it, and that was a fun time.
Awesome. Well, it all worked out, so thank you for talking with us, and congratulations on another awesome routine.
All right, moving on to our female double Dutch pairs division. And first up, we have Jump Company USA. And we have Cece, Abby, Jillian, Izzy. Great turning, a nice power sequence, stack push-ups, leapfrog. Here comes a wheel spotted flip. Waterfall frog with the wheel turning, that's great. Looks like they're going into a multiples section, offset multiples. Turning around from the turners, it's great. Inside out multiples. This group's doing a great job. There's that step and scoop. Helicopter release. Nice, not even a break in the routine. That's what we want. Hey, great job, Jumpco. And a solid routine for them. Setting the bar nice and high for the rest of the field. Moving on to the next heat. We have Abbotsford Skipping Sensations from Canada. Arden, Sadie, Kylie, and Faith. Or Kaylee and Faith. once again, Abbotsford has been doing a great job in this competition. You've had a contender in almost every category here. And we're going to start with a subway split. Great low splits. Oh. Almost, they tried to save that mistake, but eventually had to just get out to reset. Amazing double unders with the turner involvement that's going on there. And the offset multiples again, not working out for those guys though. Nice release into a wheel switch, great. Again with no brakes. There's a wheel crab roll.
60.
And spotted aerial. 2 of them. Nice job, ladies. That was great job, great job. All right, so we have the Summerwind Skippers here on coming up next. And we have Abby, Kennedy, Susanna, and Erica. We've seen them several times today. And Erica is back with us.
Hey. That last routine was cool.
Yeah. Erica, can you tell us what the difference in the style is going to be when you add a second or a fourth member to the routine?
Yeah, I think in some ways it's a very similar event, and in other ways it's an entirely different event. There's a whole dynamic interaction component between the jumpers. When you're working within 2 jumpers, there's a whole other repertoire of tricks that you're working from, like those, that you could only possibly do with 2 jumpers in the ropes. You also suddenly have enough turners for each to hold a handle, which creates a whole nother set of wheel tricks and interactions. Also, the ropes are a little bigger, and 2 people take up more space. So turning becomes extra important in this event. Again, as we said before, the more jumpers you add to an event, the more mistakes you tend to see. So generally in this event, the routines that are clean are the ones that will do well because it is just really easy to make mistakes in this event. You know, in double dutch singles, we saw the 6 times under, even the 8 times under. We're not going to see that here quite. I mean, if we do, it'll be like pretty extraordinary.
Great offset multiples there.
Yep. Again,
couple mistakes there, but
another very creative routine by the Summerwind Skippers.
It looks like Jump Company USA is holding on to their first place for now. And we have Abbotsford in second place on the leaderboard. Next up, we have the Bouncing Bulldogs. Would you like to introduce them?
Always. We have Bella, Maddie, Rebecca, and Rachel. 4 of the Bulldogs high school seniors. And on the Bulldogs, the senior class is a very important year, kind of run the team. So it's a big year for them. They've been doing very well.
So how many seniors do you have on a particular year?
Varies. We actually have a pretty big senior class this year.
I was going to say, you probably have like 50 people running the rest of the team.
No, it depends. Different years are different. This happens to be a pretty big year. I think there are 6 or 7 of them. 7 of them.
That's still a lot less than I thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely the newer generations are bigger, and that's actually kind of how jump rope, just like many other things, tends to work. You know, in the younger ages, it's a lot of people, and then people kind of figure out, all right, well, either this is
I
for
don't wanna
me
do
or it
that,
isn't.
yeah.
And as the competitive nature gets more intense, they kind of decide maybe this isn't for me. The numbers are definitely smaller at the top. That's for sure.
Right. So far, all of the groups have had a little bit of a issue,
You meaning mistakes?
mistakes issue. Yeah. Actually, Jump Company was clean, so that may.
It's very hard to even compare a clean routine to a routine with a miss. You know, so I'm not surprised that Jump Company would be the leaders right now, given that they were
Jump Co's still the lead.
clean.
Summerwind Skippers pulls into second there.
You know, I think in competitions where all the routines have misses, you can compare those. But they're kind of in clean routines are kind of in a league of their own. All right, up next from the Bulldogs, we have Reagan, Bailey, Alex, and Megan.
Nice. Long way subway. Do you guys have a name for that?
Long way subway?
Yeah, like,
Not that I know of. I just remember watching Ted and Joe do it.
right. Because I know there's super sub, there's ultimate sub,
I would call that one underground sub.
underground sub.
I just made that up though.
Isn't that what the prefix sub means?
It's a little redundant.
Yeah. Little multiple
So
sequence
the multiple
here.
sequences in village pairs, I talked a little about it before, but they're really difficult. Trying to fit both jumpers into the arc of the rope and have them jump at the same time.
That's the hardest part, is jumping
Really
at the
hard.
same time.
Especially when you're jumping
Nice,
high.
the
Yes.
gears.
Yeah, Alex is good at that, you know, getting really down low on the floor for her
Yeah.
push-ups. It makes it easy to go over her. All right. Good job, Bulldogs.
Really good job. Okay, our last contenders in this gender division.
Another familiar set of faces.
Indy Air Bears again. And we have Catherine, Grace, Allison, and Elise. We've seen most of them before.
All right, Laura Mills just tweeted us, they should call a long subway a foot long.
Ah,
I like that.
I like it.
Very creative.
Lawnmower into a subway. Oh, I love this. The back
Yes,
bend,
and
roll
with-
over into another subway.
But with the hand
yes.
hop in the middle, that's what makes
Yeah.
it so cool. See, I'm transitioning to your language. I used
Yeah.
to call that a pop frog.
That combination did not get the respect, I think, from the crowd as it
Yep.
deserved.
It's one of those things I think as a jumper, you're like, wow, that was technically so difficult
Right.
to do. And they do it so quickly, too. You know, that's part of it. The indie way is they're very fast-paced
Nice subway with the turning
in a wheel.
and
Yep.
the wheel. Yeah, this group is one of my favorites from prelims.
This is-
Gears
yep.
with the, yeah,
Yes, with
Wow!
the rodeo and the Goombas.
yes. This is killer.
This is such a cool routine.
Yeah,
So creative.
kamikaze. And I think they're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Nice
Great
routine.
job, Indy.
Great job.
That was an awesome routine.
Yep.
Well written
Nailed
and
it.
well executed.
Right.
Yep. Clean. Clean, clean, clean.
All right, next up we have our all-male division. This is Jump Pro.
Oh, this is one to watch. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and watch.
These guys,
3 teams?
three
Well,
different
technically
teams.
4 teams, but 3 teams. Because Hamisi, depending on whether he's going hot dog or Team
Right,
Tanzania.
or Tanzania.
So we have Zach, Mav, Zach, and Hamisi. Hamisi is one of the giant superstars of the sport, arguably the greatest jumper in the freestylist in the world. His prelims routine had a few too many mistakes. I know he's been dealing with an injury to be in the finals.
But the content he's able to do is
he's in the
crazy.
finals most other years. Just one of those insane jumpers who can do some pretty incredible stuff.
And they're repping Hot Dog USA, but they're also part of this group called Jump Pro, which is their uniforms here.
Ooh,
and their mission is to spread the sport of jump rope through social media. So
a little miscommunication there.
yeah.
So just to zero in on Hamisi for a second, he has one of the most incredible stories in jump rope. Not only is he an incredible jumper, but he is originally from Tanzania, learned jump rope there, was a street child who would gather sand. At age 9, he was gathering sand from the canal and selling it to people to build houses. And he's ended up a world champion jump roper.
Right.
It's like a really incredible story.
He's actually a celebrity back in Tanzania.
Oh, yeah.
People recognize him.
Like walking through the airport, people
Yeah.
will just walk up and know him. Worthy celebrity.
This is going pretty well. Just that one mistake at the start, right?
Right, but we've seen a lot.
We've
so.
seen, whoa! Oh.
Yeah.
Some crazy things from these guys.
And you'll find with the jumpers like these who have so many tricks they want to show, going over time is kind of common,
right.
you know?
They'll go a little long.
Especially with mistakes. You see them giving each other high fives. Two very creative influences, the We Jump Rope guys and obviously
And
this
the Jump Pro guys. Yeah.
Jump Rope crew. Great routine. There were some real moments where you could see some really incredible skills. There were a couple skills that got kind of cut off by some mistakes, but worth the hype.
And here's We Jump Rope. Andrew, Devin, Cameron, and Aaron. All formerly or currently Kangaroo Kids as well. Similar situation to the Jump Pro Hot Dog USA group where they have sort of formed their own subgroup.
It's nice to see this generation of jump rope kind of take the sport into their own hands and say, you know what, this is a group I want to make. Let's do it.
Right. Foot long.
Yep. Property, Laura.
Right. And the rodeo subway. Side flip over push-up.
And he gets credit for that as both an entrance and an interaction.
Right.
In one skill.
Those we call Goombas. And they did a very good job.
We're not sure if the jump rope world does, but
Sorry.
we know Lee does.
We meaning Summerwind.
Okay, yeah, Summerwind.
We call those Goombas.
I like that. I didn't have a name for it. So, that would have been so
release.
cool. So what they were looking to do, there was a floater, right? That's the word. I'm learning all this new jump rope lingo hanging out with Lee.
Nice, really. I like the ending was pata. Great routine. Just a little mistake on the release there, and that was it, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yep. Definitely. So far, this is definitely a category where we haven't seen anyone clean, have we? In the male category
Not
yet?
in the male category.
So therefore, you know, at the very least, it'll be an even playing field, a fairly even playing field, you know, depending on the degree of the mistakes. Some mistakes are definitely worse than others.
Right.
But there isn't like a standout yet. So next we have from the Association of Portuguese Rope Skipping, we have Paulo, Joao, David, and Joao. We saw some cool stuff from them first day.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
I like
the
that
rope
start,
over
yeah.
his head. Yeah, very subtle. I like it.
Nice subway.
Ooh, nice.
Nice double
Assisted
assisted flip,
aerial,
flip.
assisted front flip. Very clean and in unison so far.
Nice
Come
release.
on, grab it. There we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Very well done.
Another release, or another assisted flip. Nice. Split sequence. Hey, nice job. Nailed it. And they are excited about it, which they should be.
Absolutely should be. All right, up next we have from Hot Dog USA, Nick, LJ, Jesse, and Garrett. What should the viewers know about these guys before they begin?
Veteran group, and they're well known for their height, amplitude, and creativity, and insane tricks.
Right.
So we'll see some fireworks here.
Yeah, I would offer that a lot of the creativity we've seen today was just kind of opened up by this group.
Right. These are the Goombas again, but with backflips. There's 6.
Another, Nick lives in Tennessee.
Love
These
this
guys.
catch. Look at that. Double. Oh, not quite.
Get it going, get it going.
Oh, they nailed that in prelims right there.
Yeah, it was very
It was
cool. Still cool.
Flip there.
Still cool.
Love this hand hop from the top to the bottom.
Amazing.
Yes,
The kind of arm
very
strength,
solid.
that hand
yeah.
strength. Woo. What?
Wow.
That's unreal. And some really unreal turning to be able to keep those
Right.
things in ropes right there.
Great sequence there. Oh.
Ooh, that was a cool
Nice
switch.
switch. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh.
Oh.
Here's a big destroyer 180. Backflip. Nice.
All right.
All right, so some incredible talent, incredible skills, just not quite as rehearsed
Yeah, as some of the other
some of the
teams
other
we've
groups.
seen. But they got their big skills out. All right, we saw this group in the prelims. They've added Jairus to the mix. We have Ridge, Drew, and Dane, and Jairus from Comet Skippers. We're getting to that point of the day
Right.
where the names are coming together, the teams are fading together. So similarly to the last group, maybe a little bit more dynamic of a routine, more turner involvement, more wheels, but definitely creative, big tricks.
Oh. Wasn't sure if he
Meant to go
fell,
down.
fell there or if that was part of it and just didn't quite happen.
I like
Great
sequences like that where they're moving across the floor, kind of all doing different things, but using the ropes and working with each other. It's pretty.
Great leapfrog to toe pitch.
I like that.
Nice, yeah,
Beautiful. Well written.
right. Another rodeo subway. Step and scoop.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You know, grabbing the middle of the ropes and making 2 single ropes out of it.
Right.
Very creative.
Great multiple sequence here. 6.
Woo! Sometimes the double under after the 6 is more dangerous
Right,
than the 6
right.
itself. That was a great routine.
Great job.
Well done.
So not as many big stunts as we saw with the hot dog group, but overall cleaner and more choreographed.
Right. it looks like a little more time went into those. You know, the tricks weren't as like, I wasn't as blown away by them, but I was still blown away.
Right.
if that
Blown
makes
away
sense.
in a different way.
Different kind of blown away. All right, jumping all stars. We
Jumping
have
all
Tyler,
stars.
Luke, Jacob, and Dylan.
Little arrow shot there. Oh, little mistake right off the bat. And these guys were the #1 seed coming in. Nice. Great turning. Great sequence. Ooh, almost dropped that release, or that. I like the attitude in the middle there.
Very
Nice, with a
impressive. They
6.
made that look pretty easy.
Right. This multiple sequence is killer.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I have a lot of respect for any group that puts difficult multiples into double Dutch pairs. To me, that's like a very scary thing